Okay, part two to the Citroen C3 video. I found out a couple more things. May started on the wrong track with the coolant pipe, but as there was residue on the back of the engine and underneath it, then I thought I'd take a look and thought that was going to be the cause. Maybe it wasn't the right thing to do. The video will explain why.
Good morning, welcome to the second instalment. We're going to be trying to get that manifold out today. I think the way I'm going to do it is by lowering this side of the engine, which should hopefully give us enough room to pull this out through here, which there isn't at the moment. So those are the mounts on this side of the engine. I've just disconnected the dog leg mount underneath, and I'm going to support the gearbox on a jack, set the bolts out and see how we get on. Okay, so it's finally out. I had to take the engine mount off completely on the right hand side as I'm looking at it, lowered it onto the jack, and I've now got, well, I'm hoping I can now see the pipe that's been leaking. You can see with the inlet manifold, it is a weird shape. There's a lot of it underneath the engine. That's why it was so difficult to get out. Just trying to get the gearbox back in place. Not sure if you can see from that angle, but the gearbox is forward and down. Just setting up some jacks so I can move that back into place and get the bolts in so it's secure. Alright, that's the engine mount back in place, which was a bit of a nightmare. Probably because I've got it on the ramps isn't helping things, but lots of pushing, pulling and balancing to get that back in, but it's in now. Let's have a look what we can see where the actual pipe is leaking. Right, so this is the back of the engine, and I think it's that pipe which is leaking. But I've got to confirm it. It's a bit difficult because I can't actually see it. I'm going to go under the car and see if I can see anything from there. I've had a look from underneath, and unfortunately I can't see much at all. So I'm resorting to the mirror, and I'll come back when I find something. Okay, I'm under the car now. You can see the actual water pipe to a degree. I can't see any obvious issues with that at the moment. It all looks clear at the back of the pump. There is a pipe coming off the water line which goes down and round there, so I'm not sure what that is. We do have coolant, you can see on the bottom of the starter there and on that pipe. So if it was coming, if it's on the bottom of that pipe, of that wire, sorry, I'm thinking it might be coming from around the front of the engine, maybe near the water pump there. Can't really see much there, so let's just go and take a look. I think at this point it's not doing me any favours having the car on the ramp, so I'm going to take it off the ramp, put it in a better position. To be honest, I'm even considering taking the engine out of it. It looks quite straightforward to do. The exhaust is easy to get to, obviously the drive shafts and things, and then it will allow me to see the back of the engine properly. With the amount of work it's taken to actually get to that pipe, it's going to be the same putting it back in, dropping the engine mount anyway. So I think that's probably the most sensible course of action. I think I'll take it all out Gives me a clear view and lets me see exactly what's happening and rebuild it properly as well. Just been speaking to my brother about this, and he reckons the plastic housings are common for cracking. So just taking the thermostat housing off, a couple of things that stand out. I'm just looking at, although there is residue there from where the coolant has come out, obviously when I've taken it off, there was a lot of old residue there as well, and it looks around the front of the engine. I think if it was leaking from anywhere else, how would it actually get up there? So it looks like that could be our culprit. That's the coolant pipe on the back that I originally thought was the problem. I'm just looking at the housing itself, and there does look to be not the best seal on there. I don't think it's cracked anywhere, but I think I am going to get another thermostat anyway, just in case, and hopefully that'll come with a new gasket on it. So I think that pretty much is the extent of the coolant issues, and I think that's obviously where we should be looking, and that should cure that issue. What I have decided I'm probably going to do, taking that inlet manifold off, obviously to get to that pipes and have a look behind it, a bit of a red herring I think. So all of the wires, you can see a little clip there, there's lots and lots of them on it, lots and lots of sensors around the back. But having a look at actually taking the engine out to get that inlet manifold back on and get everything clipped back into place. So I think next weekend I'm going to take the car down off the ramps, get it on some axle stands, undo the exhaust and the drive shafts, and take the front of it off totally. I'm hoping next Sunday in a day we can take the engine out. I'll order new gaskets and things that I need for it, get it built up out of the car, and then put it back in within a day. Should be doable. Famous last words. The aircon pipes I'm not too bothered about, I can get those in around the engine anyway, so I'm not too worried about those. Yeah, so that's it for this weekend.